my channel, and in this video I thought it would be fun to do a realistic how much I read in a week. As someone who has a traditional 9-to-5 job, I thought it would just be fun to see like how much I realistically read in a week. Transparently, some days I literally read nothing because I'm so tired from the workday, or I just have stuff going on after work that by the time I get back home I don't want to read. And normally I do my reading in the evening nighttime. I'm not a morning reader. I am barely a morning person, so like I don't like doing my reading in the morning. And then I don't normally read during my lunch break because I like to take my time when I read and I don't want to feel rushed of like, okay, I have to finish X amount of pages during my lunch break. So I just save my reading for like either after work in the evening time or before bed. Normally it's before bed during the week. I'm curious to see how much I'll read this week. And then also normally I get the bulk of my reading done, I think, on the weekends. Like that's when I like stay up late. So I'm really curious to see how much I read in a week. The book that I have picked for this vlog is the Magnolia Parks book. If you saw my last video, this was a book that I picked to hopefully help me get out of a reading slump. I'm currently only 85 pages in, so I'm really not far into it, but my God, the amount of drama that has already happened is absolutely absurd. Like these people are living crazy lives. It's definitely rich kid energy and giving wealth. They are constantly mentioning designers that they're wearing, so definitely giving Gossip Girl vibes. I can see why people now say that about this book. And it's toxic, baby. Only 85 pages in, and oh my God, these characters are so toxic. It is crazy. I'm really curious on like what's going to happen in this story because I literally don't know anything about this universe, this world, these books, these characters, other than that it's Gossip Girl vibes, rich kids, and it's toxic. That's all I ever hear about these books, so I'm really curious to see what I think of it. So I'll be doing check-ins of like how much I read each day and like my thoughts on as I progress throughout this book. I realistically don't think I'm gonna finish it. I'll be shocked if there's a day where I like stay up reading a lot. You know, I'm sucked into the book, but I normally try to be in bed asleep by 11 p.m. at the absolute latest. So yeah, I thought this would just be a fun little video to make as someone who has a 9-to-5 job and who reads mostly in the evening, like before bed. So today's Tuesday, so I'm gonna film this from Tuesday to Saturday. I meant to start it on Monday, but the day got away from me, so we're gonna do Tuesday to Saturday. So Saturday you'll be able to see like how much I realistically read on the weekend when I don't have my job consuming my entire day. But it'll be fun to see how, if it varies at all, if I don't read any days, like what it looks like. So that's what this video is, and let's hop into it. It's time for a reading check-in. It's now Wednesday, and I wanted to recap how many pages I read last night. So I started at page 85 and I ended up on 136. So that is about, let me pull up my calculator. That's about 51 pages. So I think that's pretty good for a night's read. I was really tired yesterday, so I wasn't actually sure how much I was going to read, but once I dug in and started picking this back up, I couldn't put it down. It was really interesting what was happening. I will say, in the 50 pages that I read, lots of trauma bonding between our characters here. My God, so much drama has happened for only being 136 pages in. Like, we're getting more backstory on BJ and Magnolia, their relationship, their dynamic, what caused them to break up, and why there's trust issues now. We're definitely getting more of their dynamics, and then we're also getting some more just like friend dynamics, like how the friend group works, how they all behave around each other. So we got a lot of information, and it's crazy how much Jessa, is that her name? Jessa Hastings, how much she can pack in a chapter because it is a lot. We also get different POVs. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we get Magnolia's POV and then we get BJ's POV. So basically the main girl and boy in this book, they're the ones that we're focusing on, and so far it's interesting. Like, it's really entertaining. The writing is like so fascinating because it's basically as if Magnolia or BJ, they're like talking to you, because they'll make these like little comments of like, oh, well, this person knows this person who's married to this person or whose family's from this background, but you obviously know that. So I don't know why I'm explaining it to you. So it's like they're like acting as if we are a part of this world. Like we are basically another member of this friend group. So it's really interesting having those little comments in there. And that's my check-in. So I'm curious to see how much I'll read today. Today's Wednesday, the next day. I'm feeling like fine. I kind of have a little bit of a headache. I need to self-tan and I just like really don't want to, but I need to. Maybe we'll do some reading. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how much I actually read today. Reading check-in update because I just picked up Magnolia Parks to read it today and I realized I never provided an update from yesterday's reading. So today is Thursday. So yesterday for Wednesday, I read about 66 pages of Magnolia Parks and we are definitely getting more into the story slash plot of this book. And basically what's happening right now is Magnolia decides to fake date this lad named Tom England and he is basically the most British man you can think of. He's wealthy, posh, that kind of thing. Everyone looks up to him. He's very well known in this elite circle. So the fact that they're dating, it has people shook because normally Magnolia dates guys who are maybe below her in status, like not really guys who are that great. But Tom England is like, whoa, you're like being a thing with him. So they're fake dating, but it's also kind of a good fake dating, I guess, because Tom is also trying to make someone jealous. So it's an equal fake dating. Like they both know that this is a fake relationship and that they're both trying to make people jealous because Magnolia is trying to make BJ jealous, obviously. And so they're starting to fake date. BJ's like going off the rails. He's freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna lose her. And we're slowly starting to see Magnolia and Tom, I think, start to fall in love with each other. So we're definitely getting like a little bit of a love triangle right now and it's really interesting. Basically, like the word that I would describe this book is just messy. Messy. Like these people live such complicated lives and I'm just curious to see how this is going to end because I have no idea, like literally no idea how this is going to end. And we kind of know a little bit of why Magnolia and BJ broke up. Like we know that BJ cheated, but we don't really know with who. Like that is the big mystery right now. And I'm curious if that's going to be revealed at the end of the book or if it's just going to forever be unknown or it's revealed later on in other books. I don't know yet. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. And that's my little reading update. Entertaining. Oh, I also feel like I can easily see this translated to a TV show. Oh, hey Hazel. I feel like I could see this very much into a TV show similar to Gossip Girl, but also slightly different because for some reason I forget that these are British people. I don't know why, but when I read this, I don't automatically think British until like one of the boys says, oi, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they're British. That's a thing that they say. So I would be really curious to see if this does get picked up for a show, or maybe it has been. Let me know in the comments if it has been, but I could easily see this being made into a TV show for sure. That's my update. Alrighty friends, reading check-in update for Thursday. I read 76 pages, which I think is a lot. Like I didn't realize I read that much until I calculated it last night and I was like, oh, I read a lot. So I read 76 pages and I'm now about 65% into our lovely book, Magnolia Parks. And to be honest, I really don't have much to share, like thoughts or opinions, because it's the same thing happening over and over and over. Magnolia does something to piss off BJ. BJ gets mad. He does something to get revenge on Magnolia or vice versa. And I just like really don't have much thoughts. These are really toxic characters. I am rooting for Tom. Like I think Tom is messy? Yes, but at least he is not like as annoying or toxic as BJ. I personally right now cannot understand how people like BJ because he is very harmful, I guess, in like how he is to himself and how he deals with sadness in his life. Like it's basically like communication problems. Like they cannot properly communicate and it's trauma bonded them together. So like, and the same goes with Magnolia. I think they both have communication problems and they don't really know how to communicate their thoughts and feelings without the other getting offended, unless it's like saying, I love you, I miss you, that kind of thing. So I'm just like so curious why people literally love this book. Like I'm just so like, what, am I missing something? Like, yes, it's entertaining, but like so toxic, so messy. So yeah, and I'm really curious if the next book, because I believe the next next one in the series, I don't know, I guess in this universe, like if you were to read them in order, like in when she published them, I think the next one is about Daisy Hates, which she seems really interesting to me. Like there's clearly some backstory there, and I am curious on her books. I feel like I might like hers a little bit more. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm like 65% in, and I don't really have much to share that's new or different or exciting. So I think I'll probably check back in tonight, like what I read tonight, or just when I pick the book up next. I do have plans. I have a birthday dinner coming up, and I think I might be going out on the weekend. So we'll see. We'll see when the next time I read is and how much I read. It's been a second since I've updated. I didn't end up doing any reading Friday or Saturday. I just had a birthday dinner that I went to on Friday, and then I was just running around all day Saturday and did dinner and drinks with some friends. So I didn't really do any reading, so long time no update, but I'm hoping to do some reading today. So it's Sunday, and I'm gonna continue the vlog into today. Also, sorry for my hair. My hair is just doing crazy stuff right now. This is my natural hair, and it's just, she's looking a bit wild, but I'm about 65% into the book, and I'm hoping to just knock out either all of it or majority of it. So I will check back in when I have made some progress, but I don't know how I'm going to rate this book because I'm so on the fence of, I find these characters very annoying. Like they are so toxic, very repetitive behavior. They're never learning from their mistakes. But at the same time, it's entertaining. Like, I'm very entertained. I will check back in when I've made some progress. I just finished reading Magnolia, Parks, and Wow. This book was kind of nothing what I thought it was going to be. Like, I heard people say it was messy, it was toxic, but damn, they were right. I don't think I've ever read a book that has as messy and toxic and repetitive behaviors and not learning from mistakes type of characters like this story does. They felt real though. I will say, like, their messiness made them feel real, but at the same time, it's like, when do you cut these people out of your lives from being toxic and like hurting you all the time? And it's interesting because it wasn't just Magnolia and BJ, our main characters, who were toxic. It was like the whole friend group. They're all toxic towards each other, and they have these toxic tendencies that they think they're okay. So really messy, really entertaining, I will say. Like, I ate it up. I was never mad to pick this book up. I was enjoying it every time. I liked the dual POV chapters that we got. I thought that really enhanced the story because we get chapters from Magnolia and BJ's perspective. Reading Goodreads reviews, those people are saying like this book changed them and they'll never be the same again, and like, I hope you're not the same for the better, as in like you don't let people treat you like how these characters treat each other, because messy. So I think my rating will be probably a 3.75, because yes, it was messy, but I liked the storytelling of this. I liked learning these characters and their world. It was very enriching. It was a very vivid world. There's just some things that I like really didn't care for, like the repetitive bad behaviors our characters continuously repeated. So very interesting book. I'm happy that I read it, and I can now see why people love it so much. I probably will continue on in this world, this universe that Jessa Hastings has made. I just don't think I'm gonna rush to pick up the next book. But let's conclude how many pages I've read for today, and then we can recap how much I read the entire week. So today I read 151 pages, which I think is pretty normal on the weekend, how much I normally read, because that's when I can sit down for like 1 to 2 hours and really just like read a book and not be disturbed, and I'm not tired or anything like that. So I read 151 pages, thus finishing the book. On Monday, I didn't film any, so I don't know how many I read, but Tuesday I read 51 pages. Wednesday, I read 66 pages. Thursday, I read 76 pages. And then Friday and Saturday, I read 0 pages. And honestly, I feel like that's pretty accurate of how most of my weeks consist of when reading. And I'm also the type of person who has to read one book at a time. I very rarely can read multiple books at a time. For me, it just takes away from the reading experience, because I do get really sucked into every book that I read, that I don't want to be thinking about another storyline or other characters that don't pertain to this specific book. So overall, not a bad reading week, if I do say so myself. I will also say that some weeks I literally don't read at all. Like recently I've been in my Gilmore Girls rewatching phase, and there have been times where I just don't want to read and I just want to watch Gilmore Girls. So it does vary week to week, but I would say this was a pretty average week of reading for me. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you've read Magnolia Parks or any of the other books in this universe, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye guys.